Alice Bros. My name is Brian Allison, and today we're doing a top 5 most terrifying, disturbing, and just overall weird stories, scary stories from my childhood. Literally, these are actual stories. Don't know what else to say. You guys may not believe these, and if you don't, come on. We've all had these kind of stories in our lives sometime, maybe. I don't know. I lived in some pretty dangerous places sometimes, so we'll see. Number 5. Something in my closet. Alright, this is a story from me when I was maybe 5 years old. I was still living in the same room with my brother, and overall, it was pretty terrifying. Having another person there with you, most of the time it makes you feel like you're safe. But this time, I didn't think so. Every night, I had this really big closet, and where I was living, it was on a top story type of thing, and we were always on the top story because we had a really small house, and the top story was where all the stuff was. Laundry room was in the basement, and it was just weird. Bedrooms are upstairs, bathrooms upstairs. Anyway, what happened with the closet was every night, something in there would fall, and it would make this loud sound. It was something big usually, like a box of Legos or like one of these dragons I bought that was like a Kinect or something like that. And it was just fall. I don't know why. It appeared that we had thought that there had been somebody living in the closet because after a while we had checked all around the house for anything other than signs and stuff. We went into the closet, and sure enough, there's a sleeping bag in there. It's been unfolded. It's hiding under a bunch of clothes that had been knocked down a while back. And it's a pretty fair-sized closet, too. Oh, man. For a pretty small house, that closet, I swear. And anyway, there must have been somebody living in there because we didn't sleep in the house for a few more days after that. It was pretty bad. Anyway, number 4. The dog gate downstairs at my grandma and grandpa's house. When we were living at my grandma and grandpa's house, my dad was out gaming. He was with friends, and he was doing board games and stuff. We were home alone with my mother, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, something like that. It was like maybe 12 o'clock, somewhere around there. And this loud sound, it sounds like, because we have a stairwell that leads up to our actual room inside the house. Because, we got a giant garage, there's a stairwell inside the garage that leads up to the house. And down there we store the dogs. Now, I know the dogs would probably bark, but at the time, we had the dogs outside. So, and where the stairwell was, we had a dog gate, so they couldn't climb the stairs and scratch them all up and everything. Well, my mom and my brother were in the house. My mom was asleep. My brother was, I think, on the computer with his headphones on. And I was reading a book. I forgot what it was, but it doesn't matter. I was reading a book, and downstairs I hear the dog gate open and close. And I think, oh, my dad must be home. He said he'd be home by... My heart stops. It freezes. My dad was supposed to be home by like 9 o'clock. It was like 8 o'clock. So, he said he would be home by 9 o'clock, and no, he wasn't. So, like an idiot, I was 7 years old. I picked up my airsoft rifle, cocked it, went down the stairs slowly, heart racing. I felt like I was going to die. I went downstairs to see the gate. The gate was open. I don't know how. The gate was just open. So I checked the second garage. There's another garage connected to the garage where I was in. I checked that, and there was no one in there. I did thoroughly check it. There was nobody. I even checked underneath the cars and everything. There's nobody in there. I checked around the house. I probably shouldn't have done that without a flashlight. That would have been a better idea. And just generally, I went back inside the house, and I didn't get a single minute of sleep that night. Literally. Anyway, number 3. Alright. So this one was a story of when I was home alone, just me, home alone, with nobody else. I was doing my homework home alone. It was, I don't know, it was night, of course. It had snowed recently, and there was a fresh sleet of snow out on the field. And I was home alone just doing my homework, chilling out. And then I hear the door open and then close fiercely. I think my dad must have had a hard day at work. It's probably nothing. And I yell out, "Hey, is somebody home?" And get no reply. They trudge up the stairs. I hear some loud footsteps up the stairs. I was thinking to myself, must have been a hard day. I'll leave them alone. Only later, 5 minutes later, does the door open and close again, even more fiercely, making a bottle knock over that was right next to it. And it shattered, which means I had to clean that up. It wasn't fun. Aside from that, anyway, I go out and I see who it was. I was just looking around, looking at the stairs. Stairs didn't look like they had been touched at all. I checked the snow outside. No footsteps. Believe it or not, there was no footsteps whatsoever in the fresh snow. No footsteps. I never used to believe in ghosts, but after that, I can't stay home alone anymore without somebody else here. Literally, I'm going with them, or I'm not. I'm just going to shoot myself in the head. I ain't doing that anymore. That was stupid. All right. Number 2. All right, so this was actually a story by my friend and his girlfriend, and what they were doing is they were on a Skype call. They were calling each other, and she was saying for him to come over to her house. He said he didn't really want to walk that far, and it wasn't really something he was gonna do tonight. He looked behind her, and in her room, the closet was a little bit open. It was kind of open. And he said, hey, did you know your closet's open a little bit? And she said, oh, it's probably nothing. And and they continue with their Skype call. About maybe 15 minutes later, the door creaks open a little bit more. This is where it gets kind of real. The door creaks open a little bit more. And he says to her, your door's creaking. Your closet door's creaking open a little bit. And she just looked behind her and acknowledged it, sort of, and just said, it's probably the wind. I left my window open. About 30 minutes later, still gives me the shivers. About 30 minutes later, a silhouette of a boy exits her closet, walks out behind her, out of her room, and slams the door hard. Now, he was thinking, holy shit, I'm getting over there. I gotta help her. And she was screaming. She screamed really hard. And it was pretty bad. She was hiding in the corner, shocked. She locked the door, of course. Made sure there was no one else in the closet. Good to go. And sat in the corner. He called the police, and seconds later they had to force open the door. What she said to the police was she stared face to face with a little boy who looked like he had a giant scar across his face. And that's pretty bad. I don't know what else to say. If you're not meeting face to face with that kind of thing, I don't know what you're meeting with. Anyway, it's been a long way, but we're number 1. A spider in their basement. So I was at one of my friend's house, and he's like 18 now or something like that. He's much older than I am. He was older than I was then. Me and my brother were over at his house. His parents weren't home or anything. My parents weren't home. Kind of a bad parenting situation, but who cares, okay? I decided, hey, what's in your closet? Because we were down in the basement. They have their game area in the basement, and I looked. We were all gaming down there, and I looked over and I said, "Hey, Sonia, what's going on in your basement? I hear things falling over." And he says, it's probably nothing. We've had a few rats every now and then, but nothing really big. And I was like, okay, well, whatever. I left about a few hours later with my brother to go home with my parents. Actually, now that you think about it, there was one of his parents were home. It was his mother, I think. I'm not sure, but one of his parents were home, and so it's not all bad parenting. And anyway, he checks the closet, and in horror, he sees this giant spider, this huge, huge, huge spider. It's like this big, this wide, something like that. It's got a giant web in the back. They had to completely burn the whole thing out, or they had to like put pesticides or something in there. They had to destroy it. They had nests and everything. It was pretty bad. Only problem is that the spider kind of lunged at him. Except when the spider lunged at him, he kind of hit it with the door and slammed the door shut. So if that was me, I don't know if I have that kind of a quick reaction time. So goodbye, Brian. These are just generally really scary stories to begin with. But yeah, spider almost got me. I can only imagine that. And I hate spiders too. Spiders are just awful. Every single time I think about them, I think of Kingdom of the Spiders. If you guys haven't seen that movie, don't watch it. But yeah, unless you are you're a psychopath and you just absolutely want to die from the movie. Something like that. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Like, favorite, and subscribe to become a home dog. And I will see you bros in another top 10 or top 5 or something like that.